but I'll try to keep within the time. Now, this is why I picked interest in the Longreach products. What we used to cook today, what we used to cook these days is appalling, literally appalling. A lot of us have gotten so modernized that we don't even know that we can use pots to cook. Some people literally cook in the microwave for 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. You're cooking in a microwave, exposing your food to excessive radiation. Please, someone is drawing again. I'm going to have to stop and then start again so that all right, I hope this works. The person drawing can stop. Okay, so it was actually blocking me. Now, the next thing I want to talk about on what we cook is the kind of pots. I am blessed to be almost 40 years of age, and I know that 30 years ago, the kind of pots we are using to cook now weren't the kind of pots our parents used to cook. They used stock pots, aluminium pots that were anodized properly, so it was still non-stick. But the method of anodization was not the coating of a black element. It was traditional coating, traditional anodization of the aluminium itself, which is like saying piling upon piling upon piling and ensuring that it is leak-proof. It does not scratch-free. Those are the kind of pots our mothers used and our forefathers used when modernization came in, when they moved from the pots that they used to cook, when they started using modern pots, which was aluminium, but stock aluminium pots. Those pots were very heavy. But of course, nature is fading away. Things are becoming expensive. We still have to cook. And so we need cheaper pots. And what do? We literally now use any kind of aluminium to make pots. Especially in places like Africa where there is no stringent regulation, even the aluminium sink that can be used to roof the house can be converted to a pot. Now, what are the side effects? The fact that aluminium can leach into your food while cooking, because as the heat is applied to the pot, you're cooking with normal heat, high heat, the aluminum is gradually eroding and leaching into the food. And research has shown recently that a lot of aluminum in food, when consumed, have been linked to Alzheimer's disease. And that's not the only problem. The fact that even the food becomes acidified before you eat it is a problem. As it is already, we acidify our system with a lot of things that we consume, but adding the acidified food, so you cook food, natural ingredients, but by the time you're done, the natural ingredients are all burnt because there's no cushion, there's no induction. The pots are so thin that the heat literally goes from the fire straight to the food. So there's no cushion, so the heat applied to the food is excessive. And so what we end up eating is chaff. You can take your time and Google it. I say Google is our friend. Google the effect of aluminium on food, and then you will understand what I'm talking about. What did our forefathers use? This is what they used, earthen pots, right? But we are so modernized that some of us may not have it in our houses right now. So if some of us cannot have this kind of pot in our house right now, what's the alternative? Because this was very healthy. This was actually made through excess reheating. And so there's that conduction that happens. So it conducts the heat before it passes the heat to the food. There's even dissipation of heat. Even though your firewood is burning only on one side, this other side of the pot is boiling. That's because the clay allows even dissipation of heat to your food. Your food cooks evenly. But we move from there to the other part, aluminium, which is completely rendering our food unhealthy. And so Longreach, and that's why I love Longreach, because every single product I talk about or I see, I find out that they are trying to solve a problem. And that problem comes from being able to say, okay, there's a negative effect, let's cushion the negative effect and bring out a positive effect. So we're going to move back to healthy. And like we say, since you like modern things, I'm going to give you modern, and that is the classic style energy pot. Now, a lot of us see this pot and we say, oh, what an expensive pot. Or, oh, this pot is just made of, it's just normal stainless steel. I can buy another stainless steel pot. No. Longreach pots are not just stainless steel pots. And this is also a place for me to correct another misnomer. Longreach pots are not made of titanium. I beg you all, please. Long reach pots are made of stainless steel and not titanium. High food grade stainless steel. So I've corrected that second misnomer. Now let me tell you some of the features of these pots. Why I tell you that the stainless steel part of it is not what makes long reach pot unique. Long reach pot is made unique because it's one of the most patented products of long reach. It's got patents as I speak in 19 countries. This particular pot. It's manufactured based on harmonious energy field, also known as synergized energy generator. Now, here's the principle. When you heat up food, there's a lot of disorderly. So people that have done physics and chemistry, they can relate to it. When you heat up food, the natural energy in food gets disordered. And as such, it literally gets us into artificial energy. When we are eating the food, we're not absorbing the natural energy, which is why people tell you eat natural food. The more natural, the more energy, the more this, the more that, because application of heat literally disorders the energy and converts it from natural towards artificial energy. And long reach says, what do we do? How do we retain that energy? How do we retain it? And there's been this traditional Chinese culture over 5,000 years ago, Lo Tzu and some other thing. You can also Google this information about the pot. And it's based on this. It's like a 64 energy thing from resonance. Many decades of scientific research has gone on and on about this particular traditional Chinese culture. And long reach finally got this culture implemented in a product, and that was the energy pot. And this particular technology has been patented. So what's the principle? Spontaneously, when you heat it up, it generates resonance that automatically gathers, integrates, and enhances and amplifies all the weak and disordered natural energy in space, harmonizes it immediately, restores it, returns it into a stronger natural energy so that when you eat the food, is absorbed. And that is why they always tell you, when you cook with the pot, keep the lid on, because the energy ball has this technology in it. Okay? And in as much as this technology has been researched on by the Chinese for over 5,000 years, Long Reach has done their own R&D on these products for over 10 years. Like I said, just for this technology, they have over 19 patents in 19 countries have patented, and they are still awaiting in another 30 countries. And by the way, this could be updated anytime soon. In fact, because of this green technology, Long Reach was awarded, this patent was awarded Green Medicine Contribution Prize for Humans by the World Association of Natural Medicine. Imagine having transformed 5,000 years of traditional Chinese culture into a product using modern technology. That's what Long Reach did here. Okay, the tests done, we did some preliminary animal tests were done, and it was shown that with this patent, you can actually reduce the rate of hypoxia and increase oxygen levels in blood, which will improve resistance to fatigue and disease. So when you're eating food from the energy pot, you're not just talking about the food is fresh, you're talking about the other integral benefits that come from natural energy, literally. And then of course, when you cook the food, because of these properties and because of the stainless steel property, the original flavors of the food is maintained. If you boil meat, boil chicken, boil fish in the same water, in the same pot at the same time, the taste of the fish will not touch the chicken, the taste of the chicken will not touch the food, because the harmonious energy principle locks in the taste for each product, literally, and it enhances the overall taste of food. So when you cook with natural ingredients, you will understand this pot more. Yeah, like I said, the pot features is made of 304 type food grade stainless steel, that's the body, and then the compound bottom is made of 430 type stainless steel. Explains the weight of the pot. It's a straight barrel kind of pot, which ensures proper circulation of heat. And because of the stainless steel material, there's some conduction done before the heat is released into the food. So the natural heat that you're using is not directed at the food and doesn't cause it to lose ingredients. The glass lid is also a transparent glass lid. So that is the ball I was talking about in the pot. So other features, it keeps food very, very fresh, the highest level of freshness. And another thing I've noticed with the pot is put oil in the pot and cover it with the lid, you come back, is emulsified, bubbles. Oil doesn't bubble in normal pots, it bubbles, and that is, it's breaking it down into tiny elements. So it emulsifies the fat. Now, when you slow cook especially meat in this pot. You will see how it will retain the tenderness and texture of the meat. I know someone who hasn't tasted beef in several years because she does not like the way it comes out when cooked. But ever since she bought the Longreach pot, she just keeps shouting how juicy the meat was after she boiled it with the Longreach pot. And I don't have a pressure cooker in my house anymore. The Longreach pot is now like a pressure cooker for me. Literally, it cooks like a pressure pot. Keep the lid on. It's well sealed. Keep the lid on, put the heat down. It cooks normally as well. Saves you energy, saves you gas, and saves you time. And it's naturally non-stick. So there's no artificial poisonous anodized black coating on our pot. Naturally non-stick. If it burns, put water in it, just leave it for a couple of minutes, it just peels off. That's a natural non-stick property of the Longreach pot. And it lasts a lifetime. Literally lasts a lifetime. And guess what? This is one of the reasons I love it. I hate to cook and I don't know how to cook. So if you don't know how to cook, you need the Longreach pot because it enhances the taste. And nobody will know that you don't know how to cook because it's going to make your food still come out fresh, tender, texturized, and yummy. Okay, now something happened. It wasn't a planned thing, but this has shown us the test of the quality of this pot. A lady who lives in Lagos, works in Apapa and lives in Lekki, got back from Lagos traffic into her house about 11 o'clock, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And what she does, ever since she discovered the benefits of the Longreach pot, what she does is when she comes back, she boils her tap water in the pot. And then the next morning, she filters it into her bottles and she freezes them. And that's how she drinks and gets her drinking water. Because she believes that the natural energy in the water will be harmonized. Of course, the water will likely be converted to alkaline and so many other functions that come from using stainless steel pot. And so that's what she did. So she did the same thing this night. She put the water on the fire and she went to sleep. She didn't know she was sleeping. Actually, just went up to change up and maybe she just lay down on the bed just to relax a bit and then go back downstairs. She did not wake up till 7 a.m. the following day. And what woke her up? The bell rang. Her cleaner came. And because it's a cleaner, she comes in through the back door. So this lady walks down the stairs, opens the back door. As she's walking past the gas cooker to the back door, she realizes her gas cooker is still on. And this is what she saw. The water had dried out and the pot remained that way on fire. There was no smoke in the house. There was no fire. There was nothing. So she quickly turned it off. She was panicking when she called us. And she was saying, what is this? What is this? My house will have burnt down. She bought the house. She's living alone. I've been in the house, the massive house. Now tell me what pot you would use and you will get the same feedback. That shows you that when we say we are using top food grade stainless steel, we're using food grade stainless steel. And when something is food grade, it means it's food safe. So there's no leaching of poisonous or toxic substances into the food. So if you're thinking of living healthy, you need the Longreach pot to stay healthy.